Welcome to the Woman Who Lift podcast. Thank you, Donna, for coming on today for the podcast. It's great having you on again after the last time. So we don't need to do no introductions. You're 3 times world's strongest woman, and you are, as of last weekend, the under 82 Arnold's Pro Champ.
Yeah, that's right.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
And is it weird, like, you competing in a different, like, in the 82 category compared to the opens now? Like, do you find that weird, or how do you feel about competing? Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I suppose it's just that I know that that's the class that I'm in now, and it's the class that I feel more comfortable with my own self, which
Yeah,
is nicer for me. So I'm happier being at this like body weight and my body composition and stuff like that. And I think it's made me more competitive because although I was big before, I was not as big as some of the other ladies that are now coming into the open class. And obviously with the weights going up and stuff like that, it's all right. People saying, well, you just need to get stronger. It doesn't necessarily work like that. You know, if you're giving away sometimes like 60 or 70 kilos in body weight, just anyway, it's just not comparable. So for me, it was better to come down to stay competitive, but also for my own personal happiness with myself, it's a better decision. Although sometimes it's difficult because you know, if I like to eat, then I like to eat. So
and you love your food too. You said
yeah,
you love your food, so
I do. So sometimes that can be a little bit tricky, but you know, it's for me to keep an eye on that and you know, eat sensibly and make better choices rather than spending the last bit of time with the broken arm just kind of doing what I wanted.
And how did you come across Matt McKeegan then? Because I don't know if you had a nutritionist before, Matt, but I know he is your new nutritionist coach now. So how did you find him?
I did have one before Matt as well, and that person was really, really good too. But I competed at the Arnold and I had a terrible time. That's nothing to do with that person or anybody's coaching or anything like that. I just had a really bad lifetime. Let's just say that. It was had like a really bad point in like my personal life, and as much as I tried to push it all to the side really and stuff like that, it's just not something that I was like able to fully do to concentrate on that specific competition. So if you're not like kind of mentally in it, it does obviously have like a giant impact on that.
It impacts everything really, yeah.
Performance wise, yeah, I just wasn't happy. So I wasn't happy with my performance. I wasn't happy with just anything, and I just couldn't get out of that particular mindset. So that was a shame for that Arnold, but it is kind of what's happened now.
It is what it is, as some say.
So when I came back from the Arnold, I had already agreed to go and referee a competition for Matt in Northern Ireland. So I went over to go and see him and spent a bit of time talking with him. And he just said, look, you know, we can definitely do this. We just need to kind of get you in the right brain space to do that. So if you want to do that and you can like kind of commit to the process that we're going to do, then we can work together to do it. So I just gave myself like a bit of time to think about it, and then I was like, right, okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. So we've worked together kind of since then, and I think that we work quite well together. You know, we check in like every week and stuff, and he's like brutally honest with the things that he says, which is what you need to hear. And also he understands like strongman weight class because he obviously is in one himself.
And he was a bodybuilder, I think, at one stage as well. So he's pretty clued up into the weight cuts and cutting properly and being able to have the same energy and stuff you need to go into competition and stuff.
Yeah. So he's very helpful, and he's like really attentive, especially like when I've been cutting weight all the times that I've had to do it. He's always on the phone. He's right ringing me, especially this time where he was obviously quite nervous about it as well. And he's up like in with you first thing in the morning, like the whole way through the day, checking in to make sure everything's all right. So yeah, we had, you know, it's been quite successful this time, and now he's going to compete at the OSG official strongman games the same as me as well. So it will be good. And so I think a couple of other clients are as well. So that's, you know, good for him. He knows his stuff, and I enjoy working with him.
Yeah, cool. So Something I wanted to ask you, do you have like a competition chant? Like, do you have something that you tell yourself before you go in to like every event or just that day? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you kind of tell yourself?
I generally, although we're just like putting the Arnold's of this year out of the way, generally I spend quite a lot of time talking to myself about what I'm going to be doing for a long period of time. So
Right.
it's like over the whole build up to the competition, like kind of every training session. You know, times if you have like sometimes I get this like big like fluttery heartbeat.
Mhm.
And I'd be like, oh, that's me subconsciously thinking about like the competition, but it's kind of nerves, but it's working on how to control the nerves and push the energy away somewhere else. So I do spend quite a lot of time on the mental side of competing, because if you can't control yourself, then you
Yeah.
can't control what you do when you go out there either.
Yeah.
So it's controlling my brain has been the biggest learning curve for me in competing in this sport, I have to say.
Like I tell myself before even sometimes before I even do it, like in a training session, I have to say like, Nicole, you're big, you're beautiful, you're strong. Do you know, sometimes that's how I just actually get myself through it. Or if I'm in the middle of lifting something heavy and I'm at the bottom of a squat and I'm like, you just be like, get up. So yeah, we all have our own wee ways of doing things, don't we?
Yeah, I think that we do. Oh well, maybe I should try shouting something like that at myself.
Hey, or some people just look at me and I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm okay.
alive.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just put my music on and kind of just get on with it a little bit really. Because I spend quite a majority of my time training alone, so I'm kind of like self-sufficient that way, I
Yeah.
think.
I suppose it goes
Yeah.
down to experience and stuff too. Like you're at this for Jesus. I'm watching you on TV. I don't know how long now, so that's probably what about you're at 10 years.
It was my first competition was 2012, so like we're like 10
10
years
years,
deep.
yeah, I thought that would be.
Yeah. So I've got like 10 years of self-talk and experience, you know, to go along with. So it definitely all adds up. And the more that you compete, the more you learn about what works for you on the day and stuff like that. You know, like it is all a big learning curve
Yeah,
every time. And like I say, still sometimes I don't always get it right, like at the Arnold this time, but other times, like a couple of weeks notice after having like bicep surgery like 10 weeks ago, 12 weeks ago, sometimes it works out like it did this time.
yeah.
So
And you've
yeah.
started doing your own online coaching now as well too. You've your own clients and that as well. So tell us a wee
Yes,
bit
I
about that.
do.
Do a wee bit of
Um,
free advertisement.
yeah, cool. So I took on a few clients mainly because Jenny'd been banging on to me for ages that I should do something like that.
Yeah.
And I work for working kind of for the NHS. So I just capped that at a few people because I knew that I would have not enough time with my shift pattern and stuff to like pay attention to any more than a few people really. So I think I've got five or six, seven of them. Um, but what I've done is, like we discussed just before we started recording, is that actually I've quit my job now and I'm going to advertise for more clients because I just would rather do that as a job. I find it much more like fulfilling and things like that. So I'm hoping that I'd be able to get some more clients and be able to have a better work-life balance and also do the things that I want whilst helping other people. If they wanted to do like specifically kind of strongman, really, strongman clients is what I would be looking for. So I will be putting a post on about that next week.
And where would we find you if one was to go looking for you? Apart from
Um,
Instagram, have you got a website or are you in the process of getting that sorted?
Instagram, just in the first instance, usually I can look through the other messages and find something like that. Yeah, I haven't got a website sorted out yet because I just kind of decided recently just to quit my job and do this. So I haven't got that far. So obviously I definitely will be doing that in the near future. But just as at the moment, yeah, Instagram's probably best.
Um, cool. Oh yes, so when so your Don documentary,
Mm,
that's been in the media and the Instagram and
yeah.
that for a good wee while now. So when is the actual date of it coming out? Have you
So
got it yet?
I am hoping that that is the 5th of October, so in a few days, really.
Oh,
Uh,
gosh.
and I think it's on Amazon. So I'll get the rest of the details when the person that made it, Dan, he's the guy who's sorting it all out and everything like that. It's like his baby. He's done a great job. So when I get all the rest of the details, then we'll release it out. So at the moment, just like releasing like little snippets of it and stuff like that. There is a website for that. That is dondonstrong.com, and that's got things from the documentary on it, and a few bits of like merchandise and stuff like that on there that Dan's organised. So yeah, that will be the 5th of October. So that's like next week as well, isn't it? So it's
Three
kind of it
days.
seems to have taken such a long time because obviously we made this quite a long time ago. Um, and then obviously you have to go through all the process of editing it and getting all of the rights for music and things like that. It just takes quite a long time. So yeah, it has been a long time coming, but all of a sudden it's happened really quickly. It's one of those kind of things. So yeah, that's 5th of October next week.
Class. Tim, like, whenever, so the Stoltman brothers obviously sell one of your t-shirts that I'm wearing here.
Yeah, that you've
It's
got on.
actually not, it's I actually just put it on this morning. So I just grabbed the t-shirt and it so happened to be this one. But were you did you go down to their stall to do any Greek meets at the weekend, like the Arnolds? Or was it just
I kind of popped by, but they also going around quite a few other stalls as well as the road. And I do have to say, I was especially dead on
I was
on
thinking
the
that it
on the
probably would have been.
Sunday. Yeah, and I didn't really look that fabulous, to be honest, because I was just absolutely wrecked from like the cutting of the water and everything like that, and the 2 days of competition, and the night before, the Atlas Stones were really quite late on in the
Mhm.
evening. In the evening for us, by the time I got back to like the hotel and sorted myself out, it felt like it was time to get back up again and go straight out. But
Yeah.
so no, not really. I had a look around the expo, passed by like Silverback as well briefly, and then I just kind of had to give up and go because I'm just not hardcore enough for all this right now. It was a lot. So
Yeah.
I just wasn't really dealing with it very well. So I had to go. Sorry, that's my dog barking. So
Sorry.
I just kind of went home and laid in bed.
Don't blame you.
So
It was
rock and
like
roll.
it was very long. Like, yeah, I was sitting looking and was still, it was about 10 o'clock, I think, when I seen the last thing on, or the last something put on Instagram or whatever it was anyway. But yeah, obviously it was a long enough day for you. And
It was, yeah, and plus because obviously my week had started far earlier with me water cutting again, which I say is my own fault. But it was just like a long lot of days, and then when it was all done with, I was like,
sorry, I think my light's trying to kill me.
"Gosh."
I missed that, but it's recorded anyway. Sorry, say that again.
I was just saying because the my week had started a lot earlier with me cutting water and stuff, and then by the time you competed and then got all of that out, and then it came to Sunday, and I was like, I've got no more left to give here. So I just had a look, like I say, had a look around and kind of went home really.
Yeah. So the next big thing then is for OSG, and that's the 6 weeks. That's mad. Like, that's actually not going to be too far around. Like, we're already in October.
I
Like, can
know.
you believe it? That's mad.
Thanks for reminding me there. Yeah, so no, it's not
That's what
very
I'm
far
here
away. Yeah. Yeah, it's not very far away at all. Like how many do you say? 6 weeks? I kind of have it at about 6 weeks. So I mean, luckily enough, some of the events cross over. Not that I really trained farmers or anything like that, but I've obviously been doing circus dumbbell. Um, so that, well, I say that and a bit of yoke as well. So both of those events are in the OSG. Um, and I'm looking forward to the rest of it. Sandbag to shoulder, I think it's going to be like a tricky event. It's fairly
Mhm.
heavy. But I like the fact that it's all in medleys and stuff like that, especially the circus dumbbell. That's a really cool format.
Yeah.
So like I say, I'm looking forward to it all really. It'll be the first, like competing internationally in this weight class. So we'll see how that goes.
And
The
it's a stacked
80,
lineup as well, too. The under
oh,
82, so stacked.
it is. So I did have a look through the list because I was like, let me see who else is in my class. And I was like, fuck. For one of
That's
the
not normally something you do either, from what you said the last time. You normally don't look at anybody else that's competing or anything. Donna.
no, I don't usually. So I just thought I would just be nosy and have a look, but like
Yeah.
I maybe shouldn't have done that. But I haven't had a look again. So
I suppose it's a different bunch of girls to what you're used to competing with over the past few years as well. So you kind
yeah,
of just want to, even if you know their names, so you can say hello to them when you're there. Isn't that it?
yeah,
That's what it was, wasn't it?
it was. It was exactly that. So I had a look, and I know quite a lot of them from like being at other competitions, although not necessarily competing against them. So it will be interesting to see what happens, and I think it's all going to be really, really closely matched. Like whoever messes up less on over those 3 days of competition is going to be the winner, because I think we're all, like I say, really evenly matched on most of the things that we're going to be able to do. So. Yep, like I say, I'm looking forward to it, and obviously making weight is the first hurdle, and then after that we'll think about everything else.
And you're able, as well as that, like you'll be able to stay out a wee bit longer than what you did not last year, was it 2 years ago, wasn't it? Because of work. You didn't get that long off last time, did you not?
No, the last time I went was in 99 actually, because then it was COVID and everything, and I didn't go last year. So, but still the same this time. No, I'm probably not going to stay any longer. I was thinking about it, but the team competition for Giants Live
yes,
is quite close after it, and I need to kind of get back and get my life organized, and then go on to that as well. So that's like really, really exciting. That's going to be a really good show, and I can't wait to be in that.
At least with the Giants Live one, it's like it's not you solely doing every single event, so you have a bit less pressure on you, but still obviously pressure because the UK have to win, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think like as a team, Becca, Andrea, and we really want to win that. So I'll be like pep talking all those boys. I'll be like, right, get you running as fast as you can and pick up all that stuff and off you go. So
if anything, you'll have a great laugh with everybody. Like
yeah, and it's really good. And again, like it's a big arena that's going to be full, and hopefully everyone's going to really enjoy it and see the girls doing stuff as well. Obviously, Inez and Nadia will be coming over from America as well as part of the obviously the American team, and the American guys are really good as well. So again, it's probably going to be a case of who like messes up less. But this time I would actually want to say we really want to win. Andrea, Rebecca and I anyway. So we'll be, like I say, pep talking those boys.
Yes. And when are we allowed to find out have they told you when we're allowed to find out what the events are? Because I know it's all hush hush at the minute.
No, I'm not sure. It's all especially being decided. Yep. So hopefully soon.
Yeah. The suspense is real.
Yeah. But I really hope that it's going to be a good show and that people will want to come and watch. Obviously, the Giants Live Tour finals finish this week or next weekend in Glasgow, and then it's just like a last kind of bonus one at the end. So I'm just really happy to be chosen to be a part of it, really. And for me personally, then like my mum and the kids and everybody can come and watch because it's here, and that's like for me that makes me so happy because they don't often get a chance to do that. So it'll be really good, yeah.
And it's the first time Giants Live have actually got women involved, which I'm super excited to see it, and I can't wait to see what they do afterwards. Like it's hopefully fingers crossed is the first step into getting the women's Giants Live going.
Yeah, I hope so too. You know, the sports really, like we discussed before, sports really progressed a lot in like recent times. There's so many more competitions, there's so many more ladies wanting to give it a go, because like when you get into it, it kind of just like sucks you in and doesn't let you go because it's so much fun, and like the training is really well, to me, is it's like fun. It's so different and diverse. There's so many different events that people come up with as well, and there's so much more access to competitions, like at the grassroots kind of level of
Yeah.
strongman, whereas before it wasn't really like that. So it's a lot more accessible. But yeah, if something could be taken forward, like as a Giants, like Giants Live, then that's really exciting. But who knows? We'll see how this one goes, and be also grateful and excited at the same time for it actually happening. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Donna, for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to chat to you again. And good luck in OSG.
Thank you very much. It's been lovely talking to you again.